So thank you very much, dear President of the European Council, dear Antonio, dear President of the European Commission, dear Ursula, dear media representatives from across Europe, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a big day for Montenegro. It is a great honor for us to have hosted the EU Western Balkan Summit, an event that will be remembered as the most significant diplomatic gathering in the modern history of our country. For the first time, the leaders of the EU member states, together with the heads of the European institutions, as well as our partners from the Western Balkans, have gathered in Montenegro. The fact that this summit is taking place in the year in which we mark 2 decades since we have restored our independence gives it a special historical significance. 20 years ago, the citizens of Montenegro peacefully chose to restore its independence. Today, Montenegro is bringing Europe together here in Montenegro. And this is a powerful message, a powerful affirmation of the path we have chosen, the maturity that we have demonstrated, and the responsibility we have assumed. The summit confirms that enlargement policy is again a strategic priority for the European Union. It sends a strong message that the European perspective of the Western Balkans is alive, credible, and attainable. For Montenegro, this is a moment of great recognition and even greater responsibility. Dear colleagues, throughout the accession process, we have implemented important reforms, aligned our legislation with the EU acquis, and strengthened our institutions that must serve as the foundation for the rule of law, democratic resilience, and public trust. Our European path has gone through different stages. There have been periods of progress and unfortunately periods of stagnation. The presidential and parliamentary elections of 2023 brought a new momentum, new energy, and a renewed credibility to Montenegro's European path. Since then, the goal of Montenegro, becoming the 28th member state of the EU by 2028, has become a national project, a project of a national unity, with a clear deadline, a clear path, and a clear accountability. Today, I can say with the full confidence that this goal is realistic and achievable. It is strongly supported by all our European partners. And Montenegro has already demonstrated in many areas that it acts already as a member state. Our full alignment with the EU's common foreign and security policy confirms that we are already a reliable partner and a responsible ally at a time of major geopolitical challenges. Let me be precise about 3 important dimensions of Montenegro's successful EU accession story. Number 1, that would be a national triumph for Montenegro and for a new leadership and a new political culture of Montenegro. For Montenegro, membership in the EU represents the success of the state of our public administration, of our institutions, and above all, of our citizens. It is a confirmation of years of reforms and our society's ability to change, to mature, and to progress. The second dimension is the regional one, the one which is very much related to the Western Balkans. Because Montenegro wants to serve as an example, as a role model, as encouragement to the other candidate countries in the Western Balkans. Our experience demonstrates that reforms are demanding but achievable, that the European path is meaningful, and that it leads to the ultimate goal, which is a fully fledged membership in the European Union. And the third dimension is the European, because Montenegro's accession to the EU would send a message about the credibility and attractiveness of the European project. It will demonstrate that Europe honors its commitment, recognizes results made, and remains a community of democracy, peace, and a shared prosperous future. And that is why this summit carries significance that goes beyond the borders of Montenegro. It is important for our region as well as for the European Union. Montenegro's integration would send a powerful signal to all candidate countries that the European dream is alive, that is real, that hard work pays off, and that enlargement policy remains one of the most successful policies of the European Union. So today, from Montenegro, we are sending a very clear message. Montenegro is ready for the final stage. We are ready for the final stage of our European journey, which we have started by launching the EU negotiations back in 2012. We are ready to fulfill our remaining obligations, and we are ready to seize this momentum, which was also brought to us by our European partners. Montenegro is a country with a clear strategic orientation, committed to democracy, to the rule of law, to peace, to media, and to human dignity. European integration is woven into our nation's history throughout our struggle for freedom, European system of values, and our vision of a free, democratic, and united Europe. And let me conclude. Over the past 3 years, ever since I have been elected by the people of Montenegro to be the president of this country, I have consistently conveyed to European leaders my conviction that Montenegro can become a member state of the European Union, the 28th member state by 2028. Today, following this summit, I speak with even greater confidence. Montenegro has the opportunity to achieve the great objective of our generation, to transform the independence we have restored 20 years ago into a well-governed, just, and economically strong state. At the end, I would like to thank President Costa and President von der Leyen, all the leaders from the EU member states, and our friends from the Western Balkans for their presence, support, and trust. Today, from Montenegro, we have sent a message of European unity, credibility, and a shared future. And this is the task of our generation, and it is the task we will accomplish together. Thank you very much.